Hi there, I thought I would do a long and rambling video to sum up how I'm feeling really at the end of 2023, moving into 2024, the year that the end times properly start and revelations play out and some of us get taken up to heaven by Jesus in the rapture and some of us will live amongst the demons on earth. Have a nice week. Sorry, what am I talking about? Anyway, I wanted to talk about like the red pill, the blue pill, etc. And I'm gonna go ahead and assume that there aren't any blue pilled people watching this video, but I wonder how many there are that if it was offered, as if it was in the Matrix, and you're Cypher, and you're there in the restaurant eating a fake pretend steak and going, I don't give a toss. This is what I want. Please plug me back in. I wonder how many people would. The reality we have is not actually like the Matrix. So even if you were to forget all the things that you've seen and heard over the last several years, they're going to come and get you anyway. So you might as well be awake and know the horrors of what's coming around the corner. And as I say, I've moved on to the black and white pill. I have tried so hard. I have really, really tried hard to be the white pill guy. And I'm always trying to find something optimistic. And the only thing that I could give as what could be reasonably referred to as a white pill is that after all the carnage and devastation and destruction and war, we win. And, the ones of us are still alive. We'll have a white pill, and that is about as optimistic as I can get at the moment. It really does feel inevitable now that all over the West, Europe, the States and the Anglo-sphere, we're all heading into our own little civil wars, or what will be referred to as troubles or revolutions, or whatever. And I don't see a way that doesn't happen. There's going to be people that are screaming at me about Nigel Farage, and I've made quite clear my thoughts on Nigel Farage in the past. I thank him for everything he's done. I think he's a very smart guy, very, very switched on, and he's a great orator. And his recent performance in The Jungle, which I actually watched, we were watching it on catch up because obviously I don't have live television because I don't pay my bloody licence fee. But he played a blinder. They had him in there 24/7, assuming that they were going to catch him out and show him to be the monster that he actually is. And no, it backfired on them. So much so that they've now got a new rule: no more political people in The Jungle. Well done, Farage. I don't intend to ever watch that programme ever again anyway. But so people will be saying, well, no, Farage is going to come in and he's going to save us all. So I suppose there's two options. There's his Reform Party, or there's taking over the Conservative Party. And if it's taking over the Conservative Party, which is an option, I grant, that would have to be after they are utterly demolished in late 2024. I think, is it likely to be around October, November time? Very similar time to the American presidential election. And I can see that. And then he then goes in, he takes over. But in order for it to actually work, he will have to replace and kick out all of their, is it the NEC, National Executive Committee? Is that what they have at the Conservative Party? He's going to have to kick them all out. He's going to have to remove everyone. I don't even know if it's possible, because they're globalist shills, and they will just be there to undermine him. So he will have to, if it's possible, get rid of all of them and make sure that in place for every 650 seats, there's what we would call one of us, a populist, a pro-nationalist. You could be on the libertarian side, you could be on the conservative side. Hey, you might even be like a really liberal type, but you're like, no, free speech, freedom of autonomy. I wear what I want. I won't put a mask on my face. I have the right not to have a vaccine. All of that sort of stuff. He could definitely lower the price of membership for the Conservative Party so that it could loads of people like us could join. You know, I see that. I see that as a possibility. There's quite a few ifs that would have to line up, but I can see that as a possibility. I suppose the other option is next year, you know, he stands and you get, I don't know, a dozen or so possibly populists in there on the reform ticket who could be there openly making a lot of noise whilst Labour basically finish us off. So there's that. But it still doesn't stop the absolute carnage from happening. I had this thought earlier, a kind of a meme or a video, that to describe what's been going on with our uni party. And I was thinking of the WWE wrestling, and like the British people, one wrestler is getting his ass absolutely kicked. And let's just say is it Jake the Snake or someone like that? You know, he's suplexing us, dropping us on our heads, kicking the crap out of us, punching us, kicking us, biting us, hitting us over the head with a chair, you know, all of that sort of stuff. And just as we're ready, we're almost ready to be finished off. He represents the Conservative Party. He goes over, high fives the Hulk who comes in, who's the Labour Party, who just, you know, finishes off with the trademark move. And I was just thinking, yeah, that sort of sums up what the politics in this country is. If anyone's good at making memes, you know, that could be one that goes quite well. And the crowd cheering it on could be the globalist corporate monsters. But yeah, that's if there's a chance for us out of this politically, which I don't think there is. Even if you got, let's just say next year you got a massive majority full of populists who are actually going to do what is necessary to solve things out. And initially, I'm talking about the biggest problem is the invading army that is filling up with numbers in our country, and they are ready. Well, they're even taken to the streets this evening, aren't they? They're fighting the police in London, right outside Maya Tusi's house, apparently. Diversity is our strength, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you forget it, you bigots. So even if they started, right, okay, deport, lock up everyone that's a danger, all this sort of stuff, it's going to be utter carnage, and there's going to be massive acts of terrorism going on. It really is going to be awful. But that's in the best case scenario. So that there's still horrible bloody violence. At least though, you know, you'd have the government on our side, and you know, instructing the military and the police to deal with the problem. But no, absolute carnage. I've got no delusions that it's not going to be horrible. But the more likely scenario is Labour get in, they're going to accelerate what's going on, and then at some stage during next year, there's going to be groups of British guys that say, right, the establishment isn't for us, we're on our own, right, let's form little bands of vigilantes, or you know, people might call militia or something like that, and start dealing with the problem themselves. Of course, the entire establishment will come down against us for that. And by the way, this isn't me suggesting this should happen. I don't condone the violence. I'm just saying it's inevitable. It's going to happen. The fuse has been lit, and it's heading on down towards the dynamite. So yeah, absolute carnage and destruction for 2024. I have a bit more hope with what happens in America next year. So again, there's a few ifs that line up. But if Trump can win, meaning that the establishment there, the deep state, doesn't quite have as much power as it thinks it has, or it wants us to think it has, and let's just say Trump wins and he has the sense to put in his cabinet some real proper MAGA people that will do the job. You know, Vivek Ramaswamy springs to mind as being a key player, something like that. You know, Tucker Carlson, maybe even hold out an olive branch to Ron DeSantis. You know, even though they're currently at loggerheads with each other, you know, he could be a useful guy. And if he has the sense to do all that and actually dismantles big tech and the social media giants, I would rather see them just torpedoed and destroyed, and then we can be having this conversation on Rumble, can't we? You know, if they just go in and they take over, they break it up, and they just, you know, make sure that everyone has an equal voice, that will have a huge impact on what happens around the rest of the world. What happens then? I don't know. What happens? What does the British government do? Do they allow that? Do they allow people to have an equal say on Facebook and YouTube and Google itself? Like, Google, you put in a search or something, you actually get the results that you should get rather than what they want you to get. So does our internet get turned off? Is that possible? I've had this argument, well, not an argument, but this conversation a few times on Discord. I don't even know if it's possible. I don't know. Or people get like satellite internet, Starlink. I don't know. I just think that you can't keep people silent. People will find a way of communicating. But with that happening, how many normies are going to wake up when they see that? All of a sudden, your auntie can't share anything on Twitter, on Facebook because it's been taken down. This wakes a lot of people up. So that I have a little bit more faith in things getting put right, even though it's thin, on the American side, and that would help us out than us being able to do it over here. So did I say the white pill? The white pill was after the bloody revolution. Some of us are still alive. We win. All right. How's everyone's health? You're looking after yourselves, guys, because the anxiety that a lot of us go through is palpable, and we don't all really take care of our health. Having a beer as we talk about health. I lost a lot of weight last year. I cut out carbs and sugar, and this year I put some of it, half of it at least, back on. So I'm in a constant battle with that, and basically it's like if I avoid alcohol and carbs and sugar, I'll get really slim. I started going to the gym. In the summer, but then I've hurt my back, so now I can only go a couple of times a week, and it's a bit light. I've got to not push it too much. I'm 52 years old, so going easy. But I do recommend everyone out there try to do something to make themselves a bit healthier and a bit fitter and a bit stronger for the troubles, and just for your general well-being. When you do exercise and you do lose a bit of weight, you kind of feel better. So I would recommend everyone out there does something 2024, pardon me, to improve their health. So that's it really. I think I'll wind it up. But I've been the last thing actually is religion or belief in God. I've been a raging atheist for most of my life. And something happened in the last few years with what the governments were doing to us. And I heard somebody say, I think it was Jordan Peterson, said something about one of the things that brings people to God is seeing the devil. And I have absolutely no dispute that the people really pulling the strings are worshipping the devil. Whether or not that means he exists, I still don't know. I pray quite regularly nowadays. I have been doing for a couple of years. I still haven't heard back. Something changed in me. It's weird. I can't quite explain it. It's not belief. It's not faith. But it's a feeling that there is something bigger than just the purely physical. But I can't say what it is. I'm hoping that the New Testament is accurate, or at least quite accurate, and that we've got Jesus on our side. I do hope so, and I do pray to him sometimes. I still haven't heard back, and I still haven't won the lottery. So you're apparently not supposed to ask for stuff like that, but give it a punt. But watching a few YouTube videos about what Revelations would look like, and it's like, I think that's. That seems like we might be moving into that. We just look out for people with trumpets and different coloured horses and things like that. But that's it really. So I just want to wish everyone, I hope everyone had a nice Christmas. I hope you got to see your family, and any disputes you got with your family, if you can patch them up a little bit. I'm getting on a lot better with my daughters now. Family is really important. Tell them you love them, and have a nice New Year's Eve, whatever you're doing. And I don't know, just try to stay sane and a bit healthier for 2024. because we're needed, aren't we, for this whatever's coming. I'll catch you soon. Bye.